Nearly every person who reads the riddle thinks it refers to JFK, but they are mistaken. While the description fits him very well, the person I really had in mind is Adolf Hitler. People misinterpret the riddle because the phrase, "one of the youngest in his nation's history," instantly brings Kennedy to mind. It's the vividness bias at work. Their memories of JFK are more vivid than of Hitler, thus more retrievable and more of a force in their minds. Once the idea of Kennedy has been planted, we instinctively focus on it and look for supporting evidence. Focusing has an immense downside when analyzing problems. It tends to make us view problems one-dimensionally, meaning that we glom on to the first solution that makes sense. The hallmark of focusing is the revered institution of advocacy, taking a position on an issue, marshaling supporting evidence, and defending that position against arguments of those holding or focusing on opposing views. 7. It turns out that many of our most cherished individual beliefs, upon careful examination, are simply not true. We don't hold questionable beliefs because we haven't been exposed to the truth. On the contrary, we tend to hold fast to these beliefs in the very face of incontrovertible, contradictory evidence. How? We simply rationalize away the disparity. A battered housewife believes that her husband won't beat her again because he loves her. An emaciated anorectic looks in the mirror and believes she is fat. The owner of a miserably failing business looks over her books and believes that she is doing all right. An intelligence analyst continues to get surprised by the terrorist target she's assigned to monitor and believes that her predictions are right more than 85% of the time. We tend to treat beliefs like material possessions. We acquire and retain material possessions because of the function they serve and the value they offer. When it comes down to it, that is, our possessions make us feel good. And for that reason, we cherish and protect them. The same can be said of beliefs. Sir Francis Bacon noted a long time ago that we prefer to believe what we prefer to be true. Our compulsion to embrace untrue beliefs can have disastrous impacts on our ability to analyze and resolve problems. What you perceive depends on who you are. Analytical thinkers have generally assumed that we perceive reality as it is. They then use a process of abstract reasoning to interpret that perception. What we realize is that the perception is the interpretation. It rests on an internal reality that governs the meaning we find in our sensations. The internal reality I just mentioned is controlled by the mental traits we've been discussing. Thus, it is those hidden traits that determine the meaning we find in the information our senses pick up and transmit to the brain. This is an alarming phenomenon because we have no direct awareness of or conscious control over these traits. Is it any wonder that we're prone to err? If we are to solve problems and make sound, effective decisions, then we must learn how to deal with the intuitive compulsions of the human mind. That defeats objective analysis by closing the mind to alternatives. We'll talk about how to do this in our next series of lessons. Complete the final quiz in this lesson to ensure we met our learning objectives. Then we'll close this lesson with a few final words.